What is going on, everyone? We're back again with our video. In today's video, we're going to be checking out Franchise. This is the deep dive they released today. Let's go ahead and start this thing up. This is the trailer. Once again, another 5-minute trailer, so they're really putting in a lot of effort when it comes to all this stuff. We're going to be talking about Franchise. To me, it looks like they really updated the free agency and the offseason experience. Those are some of the main things they've updated in this whole gameplay trailer and everything like that. So that's the main things that we're going to be talked about. It's obviously for Franchise in March to October, but mainly Franchise, let's just be honest. They've updated a lot of the presentations you're going to see throughout this and some of the screens, which we're going to pause for. So the main thing is there's going to be a new off-season experience. There's going to be a risk reward feature in this whole thing. So this is the new free agency system, the new, high risk, high reward system, and they've completely overhauled this. We can see the top 50 free agents right here, and we got all the players, right? Obviously, these are guys that in 2026 are going to be free agents, right? We have their overall potential, their position, and secondary position, which is definitely a good feature, I feel like, to have. We're also going to be seeing what they're asking for, so we can see Vlad wants 7 years at $30 million. And then we have rumored talking to, so the other teams he could be talking to, and then fits with our team, which is pretty cool. Then we also have this. We see a lot right here. So there's going to be a 16-week offseason. We have the money we're available to spend, and then we have what we need. And this is going to be a big feature with the big board potential needs and team needs as well. So this is going to be really big as we move forward. Here's the big board. So it's kind of like the recruiting system with prospects. You put them on your priority list, and then you can see all this stuff, and then you can get this motivation boost, which I imagine means he's more likely to sign. As you guys can see, 68% motivated to sign. So we see that with a couple of the free agents right here. And then here's the offer screen, completely new offer screen, which is pretty cool. I like this a lot. It shows the clear budget we have right here, how many years, how much money, motivation to sign with the contract. And then we have matches your team needs. So that is another cool feature on the right hand side over here. So then we have smarter free agent logic. It's just more about stats, market dynamics, and player priority shakeup this offseason. So they're going to have market leaders now. So like we saw, Soto signed, right? And then all the other guys started to sign around them. So that is going to be a factor when it comes to this. There's going to be market leaders, right? Or I think there's another term for it or whatever. But that is definitely going to be a thing. We also have position blocks, as you guys just saw here. If there's a player, so for example, if you're trying to shine a shortstop as the Dodgers, it came up as Mookie Betts as the position to be blocked, and they're not going to be as motivated to obviously sign there. And we can see this team is an underdog, so that will have motivation decreased as they obviously want to win. So there's a lot of these cool factors that they're playing into this, which I think is well needed, because before it was really just, if you gave them a good contract and, it didn't really matter about your team performance at all. So there's that factor into it as well. And then we can see this is updated. So obviously shortstop, left fielder, and center fielder, I guess, is what he needs on this team. So I think it's just going to be way more in depth. It might be a little bit harder at first, like the scouting was. I'm still not the best with that scouting system, but it might be a little bit harder. We can see Vladimir Guerrero Jr. right here with Seattle. Fits their team needs, and they also need a right-handed batter, so there you go. And obviously the more money he get, the more boosts you're going to be able to get to sign him. And then once you make an offer, there's another boost, I guess, right there. Now this is cool. There's this whole new contract decision-making system we just see with a bunch of new animations right here. So the contract was bogus. I'm less interested. So if you do give him a bad contract, they're going to be less interested to sign you, as we see right here. So that's another thing you got to think about when you make these offers. I know in the old games, it was just kind of, make the offer. If they don't take it, all right, raise the money up a little bit. I know I did this, and then they would sign. Here's another screenshot of this big board. We can see rumored to be talking to with the other teams right here. And this is only 33% verified. So it's going to be way more in depth with, I think, who you're going to be signing and all that stuff, especially with the bigger market teams. Obviously, the smaller market teams, you could put your eggs in one basket, right? Here's the contract decision, completely new screen, completely new animations. Was it worth your time? And he makes the decision to the Phillies. And then there you go. He signs with the Phillies, right? But then there's also this risk feature. Maybe you're chasing one guy for too long. We see some stats start to decline over there. And then we can see some free agents weigh their options, right, with other teams. So it goes over team quality, position competitiveness, and then if you fit now. So it's going to be a really cool system. Obviously, they're contenders, so no change here. And then no position block, they're going to be increased to want to sign with your organization. So all these factors are going to be really key. And I think it's just going to be really cool to see this actually pay out. And as you guys can see, the position right here, I guess he's playing as the Dodgers. So obviously the motivation is going to be decreased because Mookie Betts is there. So yeah, all these different factors are coming into this. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible to see this. They talked about this as well, when to make your move. If you offer too early, they might, not want to sign, or if you wait too long, there might be a contract decision, which you end up seeing right here with this contract decision. We get the little phone out, and then we get the contract decision. sign up with the Yankees instead of your team. So there could be a lot of things like that happening. There could be some unknowns. This is also another thing. I know we hear a lot about with free agents, they give the former team one last chance to give them an offer. That's kind of what this is. So we see Lane Thomas right here. Yeah, I guess he's rumored to be go to the Dodgers or 2 other teams, right? We can offer him a last second contract right here to try to get him to sign with us. And that's kind of what this is. I know with Soto, he didn't do that with the Yankees. He just kind of, the Mets gave him the better one and he just went with the Mets. So this is kind of a last chance kind of contract right there to sign with him. So I think that's pretty cool. I mean, obviously all this stuff we haven't seen in a while. This is also really cool. It says, hello, I'm reaching out in regard to Jordan Romano. Feeling like a good fit for your organization, maybe worth your time to check him out. So the agents will also contact you, which I think is really cool. And then you can add him to the big board, not interested, or offer a contract. I think that's going to be really cool to have that whole feature where you're not necessarily going to be hitting the players up all the time. You can actually get hit up yourself as an organization. There's actually be a negotiation now in this whole thing, which is going to be really cool to have. Because, that obviously really doesn't happen with the current franchise model of this game. So this would be cool to have like that. You're actually going to feel like a real GM, which I think is going to be a lot better with this whole free agent thing and everything like that. Now, this is a good one. More accurate arbitration and true-to-life salary outcomes. In arbitration, you obviously got to agree on the contract, which honestly never happens. It always happens in February when the final hearings happen. So yeah, definitely going to be interesting with arbitration because usually you can just lowball them and they accept it every time. So probably you're going to have to pay a little bit more for those guys if I'm going to have to guess. So, that the arbitration system might be a little bit harder. Like I said, I think all this will be a little bit harder at first. That's just kind of what we think. We have better trades, more realistic contract negotiations, and contract values. So I think that's going to be pretty cool as well. You're able to spend more money. I wonder how the budget's going to work though, because if you're spending more money, right? We'll see how, that works this year to actually increase that budget. If there's a, easier way to do it, we'll kind of just wait and see moving forward. And then now they're going to be talking about presentation. They added some more announcers in here, as we can see right here. There's been more announcers and some presentation that's actually happening in franchise mode. I don't know if this is across the whole game or just franchise. I imagine just franchise if you're talking about it here, but you really never know. They might talk about it in the feature premiere later this Thursday. But as we see some new presentations right here, which is really cool, some new screens. A couple of these we've seen in the older games, a couple of them we haven't, like the Rookie of the Year and the Cy Young race, which is pretty cool. I think that's going to be really cool. And then coach comes in, we see these new transitions with Cleveland, right? Just really clean, really cool across the board. Then we see MLB The Show 25. This is really cool. This whole little, I guess, message board, I guess you would call it, before the game starts. Storylines of the game. We have some league news, which is pretty cool. We got a shutout right here. We got collects 5 RBIs. Of course, 900th, RBI. Then we have the farm system, which I think is cool. I think this is a really cool feature that we're going to see. And you can also click on these guys. As you can see, he does with Travis Bonanza. Clicks on him, he sees the depth, see when he got drafted. Oh, just a lot more in-depth features, which I think is cool. There's the Rookie of the Year run. We also got some more news. You can see standings. A lot of cool features they're going to be adding into the whole presentation of this game. Last 10 games is also pretty cool. And that is pretty much it in the franchise front office experience in this deep dive. The thing I do want to mention, though, they bring back the schedule here. And I don't know what happened to storylines, but there was supposed to be a storylines deep dive tomorrow. And then they were going to do a feature premiere for it. But I guess they're just going to do a reveal for the storylines. Not really sure why they got rid of it or they moved it. But yeah, it's just going to be a reveal on all the social platforms. Yeah, so that is next Monday. So that's when we have the storylines reveal. Then we have the Diamond Dynasty feature deep dive. And then we have the feature premiere for Diamond Dynasty. So that will be really cool. I figured I'd mention that because that was something I noticed when they talked about this week's schedule. They did change that a little bit with all this new stuff coming out. This thing else I wanted to talk about as well. We know MLB The Show has partnered with Homage to release all these new shirts, right? We can see a couple of the designs right here. This was the original one. They came out with 4 new designs, which is pretty cool. They have an MLB The Show 6 one. Then they have the MLB The Show 6 with David Ortiz on there. We have a Diamond Dynasty shirt and a Road to the Show shirt. I figured I'd mention these because they are pretty cool. And I know a lot of people have gotten pretty excited about these. So this is everything we got today about the shirts and the deep dive. We'll be covering the feature premiere on Thursday, which will be exciting. But with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace out, everyone.